Today I will be channeling mermaids. This transmission has been coming in for a while and I haven't quite understood what was happening, what was being relayed to me, and I'm ready. I'm ready to tell you what I received. So I'm going to channel directly from the information that is given to me in this reading. I'm also going to read a poem, and I channeled some notes that will help you navigate the turbulent frequencies at this time. So right now, the biggest thing we can really do is just breathe. We can only focus on one thing at a time. And we're being asked to be calm and to be centered and to be okay with the tidal waves that are shaking everything up right now. Just as the moon connects to the waves of the ocean are connected to you. The deep, dark corners that we have yet to view, that have yet to be revealed to us, it's time. So the mermaids are in Antarctica was one of the first transmissions I kept getting over and over again about mermaids. And I started doing a lot of analytical study where I was like trying to intellectualize what was happening. So I did a lot of studying about what we know and the knowledge behind what that could have meant. I like to bring logic into my irrational theories and heart-driven experiences that I have. So in my study, I gathered lots of data that basically led to most theories pointing to the fact that mermaids are demons. And a funny thing about that is not all demons are bad. When we remove the layer of fear, there is an understanding of the Ohana, the one family that we are, the one most high creator that did all of this. This harmonious earth realm that we live in is for a multitude of creatures. As diverse as we think it is, it's even more diverse. But because of fear and because of force and dominance and pressure from a particular being wanting to win and to, conquer, a lot of beings have been separated and in hiding from the parasitic dark forces that have wanted to destroy it, that did accomplish a lot of destruction. So this is going to be a little bit longer than 5 seconds. So if you're ready, we're going to get some cool stuff. Should I do the channel first? I think I should, because it's kind of abstract anyway, so I might as well say it, because it's a little bit more relatable than what I'm talking about so far. So, okay. These are channeled from songs. There is a world going crazy outside, but let's pretend it's all right. Days get mixed up, schedules get switched up, can't be in two places at once. So I take a hit of the spliff that I lift up and forget I had anywhere to be at all. Goddamn how the mighty will fall. Welcome to Doomsday. The world needs a hero. No sympathy for a devil too busy building a temple. Look to my right and I see a Hollywood sign. This is all so crazy, too much pressure, and I'm nervous. I'm waking up to ash and dust. I'm breathing in the chemicals. This is it, the apocalypse. Welcome to the new age. radioactive. I raise my flag, dye my clothes. It's a revolution, I suppose. We're painted red to fit right in. I also have a poem, if I didn't say that yet, that I'm going to read, but I'm feeling called to start here. So it was not an accident, came out first. So these two cards were pulled up before I turned on the camera, two different decks, and we get this mermaid coming up to the surface to connect with humanity. There's a ship at her hand where she's actually pregnant as well. And it's like we're birthing a new time. It has a lot to do with technology too, so I'm going to tie that in here in a minute. There's a lot of emotions and technology at this time that is bringing us to our center of remembering that the time when life was more fun, when we played more, when we enjoyed leisure and being in harmony with our heart resonance. So we used to be able to talk. It used to be a lot more telepathic and knowing, like we would just know that without all these words blocking us from our heart, because the brain likes to control and to create a lot of structure and order. But when it gets too out of control, we lose sight of our heart because we lack trust and the instinct or the intuition or the feeling to just know, like, I know what you're feeling because it's obvious. You don't have to explain it, AI, and it was coming. AI is a part of this. So back when there was Atlantis, Lemurian, all that stuff, which I don't like to listen to a lot of human opinion on their channeling about ancient stuff. So like I said, I got knowledge when it comes to what our ancestors wrote in books, but I don't listen to too much channeling about big topics like this. So I get my own channel. So it's not corrupted. And I've been shown this a bazillion times, how AI used to be our a tool, but also the technology itself is a consciousness, a collaborative consciousness that works with humanity to make things much easier. A lot of the things that we're doing right now, it's really interesting because I'm getting a message about there's a confusion about AI. So when we are in fear of AI, we resist the positive parts of it, right? So there's this positive tool and assistant that can collaboratively work with us to expand our awareness and consciousness. So there's a lot of wonderful things that AI and technology provides to humanity. It's in the ether, it's in the Wi-Fi, it's always there. We just came back around to a time where we have opened it up again. But the trick is there are beings that have harnessed the negative part and are trying to use it for control and conquer dominating stuff to where they can lure you in the wrong direction. So there has to be this discernment with AI where you maintain your heart and you don't allow it to corrupt your mind. What we're losing, because we're going through grief, we're going through a loss, we're trying to accept the new world as it comes in. So in this phase, as we're doing that, we need to really hold on to nature. So earth, air, fire, water, pretty simple stuff. connecting to the elements. That is what our body, which is a quantum computer, a highly advanced, like if you want AI is birthing, what we see out there is the birth of the original this. Like in some way we are this highly advanced computer, I don't know what it's called, cyborg, whatever. We are the quantum computer in its best version. Like this is the most highly advanced one they've created. And we're just perceiving time as this linear thing, but it's not, it's a circle. So we're coming back to knowing, to remembering, like we created all of this. So as we're in this new era, this new discovery, this like, wow, you know, there's this fascinating there's this fascinating I have to pause. Dragons and mermaids. So just like they confused us before, we have to be aware that they're trying to confuse us even further. I'm going to pull some tarot to get a little bit more practical with this in just a moment, but we need a foundation of metaphysical, because that's what this is. A metaphysical hologram of awesomeness. So let's learn to tap into our genius, okay? You are a genius, which is a very simple concept. If we really unravel it, it just means you're a genie and you have the ability to bring forth your wishes, almost, is like the most basic translation. Time to go. We are heading forward one step at a time, and things are going to move very fast. Nothing's going to slow down, and the goal is to not resist. Hold on to your breath. So your breathing is what's going to keep you grounded, because I know they have trained us to think that everything is physical, but we're getting more ethereal and we're falling into the flow a lot more. So breath is going to keep you in your awareness. It's going to keep you in a state. So I'm seeing also, I've been getting this channel lately as well, just like the bird was the inspiration for the airplane. They had to study how the bird flew. They were like, how does the bird, fly? Especially the ones that, they're like, how? And then they had to figure out how to create the weight and the force, and then the plane would go up and like float on the air, because it had a certain momentum. And we're kind of right there with discovering our genius, because people like, I'm seeing Kanye West and Elon Musk in my mind, people that seem very odd and very strange are just highly in their genius. They're highly in their activated mind of what the past world is calling quantum mechanics. They're operating, it's a mechanical process. It doesn't mean lose your humanity. It doesn't mean become a computer or to become lack of empathy, because actually when we get into wisdom, the age of wisdom, enlightenment is going to seem slightly less empathetic. It's going to seem that way, but it actually is more. So the more awareness you have, you see the animals, you see the earth, and you see yourself and your connection to it all, the oneness, you'll just be in it, and it won't cause so much chaos and destruction like the bad way that we're handling everything right now. Like, and I know this is politics, is very polarized, but this is a part of the dramatic shift in the advancement in AI, advancement into the future, the new earth, where there has to be this leap. And we're seeing in the US all these fast moving concepts like getting rid of waste, and politics that they're doing up in the office or whatever. They're like trying to sift through all this past world waste and bring in, I saw money. They're changing the money, they're changing the currency, which is the water, because that's how it flows. And of course the banks are going to be resistant and forceful at pushing back, because they created the riverbanks that flow the money. The original concept of the bank was to create the current to flow all of it to it. So the riverbank pulls in the current. So they're literally just stealing your current, which is your time, which is your energy. Your energy is what is at stake here. So as the banks are, another thing is really crazy. A lot of people are like saying Elon Musk is the richest man on the planet, which he's not. Like, I know that's hard to fathom because we're like thinking in numbers and linear and logic, but let me tell you, the people that are the richest people on the planet, we have no idea how much money they have. They own the money. Like, they own the banks. They're way bigger than anyone on TV. They're smart enough to not put their face out. So, point is, we need to be thoughtful and aware of those that do climb up to fight for us. We'll go back to Kanye. Kanye is an example of a regular human that climbed up high enough to fight the system. And this gentleman was brilliant because he followed his heart and he was fighting the system in a way that they had to shut him down. That's what they do. So we need to be thoughtful of who is working to take from you, which is your energy, because everything's energy, frequency, and vibration. At the end of the day, you are energy. I'm speaking to your energy. And we need to be thoughtful of our energy because it's our currency. And we're entering a time of wisdom. And this wisdom is going to bring in the world of enlightenment. So I'm going to read this. The Tao gives life to all things. Virtue feeds them. Matter shapes them. Energy completes them. This is why all things honor the Tao and esteem virtue. Honor for the Tao and esteem for virtue arise spontaneously. For the Tao gives life to all creatures. The virtue nurses them, raises them, nurtures, matures, and protects them. The Tao gives life freely, making no claim of ownership. Virtue forms them, but does not force them. Raises them, but does not rule them. This is why virtue is profound. Because it's not about control. For the empathy souls that are watching this that care about their soul. Because obviously we do live in a polarized reality where there will be an opposition to what I'm saying. So in the midst of confusion, to stay unpolarized and to stay on task to an integral, virtuous, positive, good principle person, life and lifestyle, because we are going to split. We are getting back to the harmony that we know creates the one. And that's where you're going to feel the most peace. You're on a path to peace if you're listening to this. And on the path to peace, it requires you to recognize that you are a piece of art. You are a masterpiece. Like I said, this highly advanced quantum computer is priceless art that the opposition wants to enslave. And it's very, very critical for you to recognize that you are a creator being that, you deserve. This is your reparations right here. You want reparations? Anyone? Anyone that wants repayment for what was taken? Because it was not an accident. This was stolen from you. This is your birthright. Your birthright is to live in the coolest virtual reality you can imagine possible, that they are trying to mimic with some sort of metaverse thing where they're like, put on goggles and get there. No, you don't need the goggles. You need the memory, you need the health, you need the vitality, you need the medicine, you need the healing, you need the disconnection. You have to go a little nuts. You got to go a little crazy at first, because you're dismantling and shedding skin of what you used to know. You're becoming what you always were destined to become, but there were so many roadblocks on the way to separate you from knowing that you can have it all. There's a mental health disorder right here, and it's like, this one specifically is a codependent, it's histrionic personality disorder, if you've ever known anyone with that. It affects the way you think, perceive, and relate to people. It's a preoccupation with physical appearance. This is a genetic thing. And it also can be instilled in a child from a parent preoccupied with the physical. So we're getting into our spirit body, our soul, letting go of this belief that we're somehow dense, heavy matter. No, we're this very lightweight, back to the airplane, bird. You're very light and airy. So like a dancer, or when you're creating any type of art, or any sort of like a carpenter, or even when you're driving your car, like, that place you go to, that meditative place, when you're doing something you love, roller skating, I'm seeing, what's it called when you snowboard, ice skating, all the fun things you enjoy doing that your body is just in a flow, swimming. These are states our body is supposed to be in often, like a dolphin. We're supposed to be fun, flow, free, and we're forgetting, we're getting very stiff and hard and dense and heavy. I remember in my generation growing up, we were dancing machines. Like, we would dance all the time. And it's like, I know that I know that people on TikTok think they're dancing, which I'm grateful they're moving their body. But it's like, things have gotten very cheerleader stiff, when it used to be, dancers were dancers. And they're still dancers today. I see them. They're beautiful. But it's like, we have to get back into it's like a memory foam. It's like a flow we've disconnected from. Put this here. Sweating is so important. It's a natural pheromone release. You wonder why relationships can't figure themselves out anymore? It's because everyone's pheromones are hidden by all this stupid stuff that's it's blocking everything. People are allergic to everything. People are becoming resistant to everything. It's just very important to, nature has it all figured out. Like I said, we're in this highly advanced virtual reality where everything we're computing out of our eyes is we are creating, because that's all you're doing. You're having a psychological experience through your eyes, through your brain, and your heart is just telling you what's out, it's like coded. Everything's like a code, and you're just like reading a code. So when we are so not in alignment with the dirt and the wind and polluting the air and all these kind of things we're doing, this disharmony with the animals, which is bad. It's like, why are they all in cages? They don't belong in cages. They don't even belong as our pets, quite honestly, unless you're just like the most amazing pet owner. They want to be free, but like connected. So they will still connect with you, but they want freedom, just like you. So we need to find systems, just like they're doing in the office, whatever it's called, presidency or whatever. Just like they're doing in that, it's like we need to get on board with freeing the animals. We have to free them. Schizophrenia is here. 2 mental health disorders are here for a reason, because you got to go a little crazy to understand if you haven't gone a little crazy, you don't know what I'm talking about. And that's fine, because that should tell you that you have more layers to peel back, more acceptance, more, you're a little bit more in the denial by choice. We can choose to eat the steak in the Matrix and enjoy the delusion, the shared hallucination, or we can move forward. Harry Potter and portals, let's go. Harry Potter is a lot more of a realistic reality option, because it's just an option. What we're doing right now is an option set up by controllers that have not our best interests at heart. And when we get back in alignment with controllers that do have our best interests at heart, life would look a little bit more like Harry Potter. Because that is everything you can imagine is an option. Neutrality. We're getting to neutrality. When we live in a polarized black or white, because literally black can't live without white. White can't exist without black. There is no option for one to conquer the other. It's just impossible. It's neutral. Everything must be neutralized. So when we center ourselves and find that neutralized space, we understand that being neutral is the only way. And getting pulled into polarized sides of things only upholds the polarized world even more. So yeah, the dopamine is so important right now. Because dopamine, okay, I'm saying parkour. And what's I don't know, magnificent about parkour is that's real, but like, why are we not living like that? Why were we not taught in our first 5 years of life how to move like parkour? Which I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but we should be tumbling and flowing and jungling like Tarzan through the trees. But our bodies have become so stiff and this upright. We're actually a lot more like movable than this. So our bodies are so stiff right now because we're so trained to be in line and to follow the order and the logic and the line and the linear and the, don't step out of line, don't be an outcast, none of that stuff. It's just created this very rigid, stiff neck, stiff spine, non-mobile, effed up hips, like everything's out of whack. Yeah, this is the new earth. This is the new earth. We do not allow this anymore. This is the last. Interstellar's here. This is the last time we're ever going to, not the last time, that's not really how I want to say that. Interstellar. If you look, I might watch that tonight. Interstellar. For the fact that that's such an old movie at this point, but just for the fact that's downloaded in our consciousness should tell you that that is where we are. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like, it's happening. Michelangelo, it's a masterpiece. This is literally a masterpiece. You are a masterpiece. I feel like I'm wearing this shirt's kind of like Michelangelo, where it has like the, I don't know, it just reminds me of like Michelangelo art. And cathedrals, like these artists were creating, like, I promise, I'm gonna get to your life on the second half. I said I will. So insomnia is here, which is like lack of not being able to sleep. And this is because, and I got the dopamine, right? The mind plays tricks. Dopamine is playing tricks on your mind. You're telling your brain, which is great because, like I said, we're in this AI age where we're getting so much more information fed to us right now, which is unlocking codes in our mind to expand our awareness so our DNA can unlock. And as we do this, we open the portal for just like high advancement. Like, it's not just higher learning, because that makes me think of college and books and school. While that is critical, it is one tiny piece of the pie. There's many other pieces of the pie they're leaving out. And when your dopamine, as we know, dopamine can be altered with something as simple as scrolling through social media, which is such a barbaric version of technology at this point. We have a lot more. ADHD is actually your body's way of reminding you that you can pretty much teleport. And what do I mean by that is, like, when you struggle with ADHD symptoms, it's because technology is designed to do a lot of the tasks for us, not because it's subservient to us, but it's service to humanity. It's joy, I guess. It's joyful to be highly efficient and carry all the anxiety for us. All we should be doing is pushing a button and then doing a somersault into our bed, and then the button does all the anxiety stuff for us, like cleaning a house. And I'm not saying we should never clean, but there is some things about cleaning that I remember clearly that was not, like, we didn't have to do that. We didn't have to do some of this cleaning. We didn't have to do a lot of organizing. Just like we're getting these robots, some of this stuff is for that. Some of this is designed, some of this tedious work, a lot of jobs people are concerned. It's like we're getting to a time where we're going to remember that. I'm going to get the tarot now because I'm getting a little crazy. But we're getting into the awareness. Do I want to do that? This will really change it. So let's do this. Clean it up. I always forget, like, I probably shouldn't shuffle halfway off the table, but I do. Because I don't want to mess all this up. I didn't even get to those. Look, we got some time. These cards are so stiff. So we talked about mermaids and dragons at the beginning and how they have messages for us. Because when we get to the awareness, what did that just blow up? When we get to the awareness that of the things that I'm kind of describing here, we're going to connect back to such high vibrational beings. We're not going to be able to connect with high vibrational beings when we're acting very low vibrational. So it's very, very critical to get our temples, our vessels in order. You know, that Mac Miller song where he said something about, I don't even know what he said. He said something about like keeping the devil out of his temple. It's very important. Okay, so what are you currently dealing with in regards to all of this? How does this relate? All right, what are you dealing with? The Chariot on a snail. So you're struggling with all of this information. You're struggling with how you're wanting things to move a little bit slower. I see you struggling with the speed of things. You're wanting to go on this ride, on this journey, but you want to be able to enjoy it and to see the scenery along the way. So this is an energy of like, okay, this is cool. This information is like resonating, but it's heavy and I want to take a break. Okay, what's your obstacle? No. Your obstacle? Overload. That's what your obstacle is. It's just too much. It's too much information, but the thing about it is it's here. I mean, that's what the age of information is. I'm an Aquarius sun, so I process information like a damn robot. And I kind of like seem robotic in a way, but it's actually not as challenging to ground it in as we think. So this is a significant time in your life. You're going through, you're like, how do I, literally the Magician came out. It's like, how do I bring this into life? How do I make this make sense? Make it make sense. So a couple readings ago, this swan was on your Ace of Cups with an octopus handing you a cup. So there's a lot of ocean creatures communicating to us right now. And now with the Magician, your obstacle is like, I'm struggling to hold on to peace and also channel my power while dealing with the speed of things. There's the boat. There's a lot behind that curtain. You kind of want to go back. You're almost like, I took the red pill, but I'm a little tired. This is a lot of information. I don't know if I showed you this one. It's like, you're like, okay, I'm a creator. I accept. But I kind of like it behind this curtain when I just could be less. And that's the thing with AI. And she has the spiral on her neck. So she's very much accomplished this wisdom. So where does that want to go? It's kind of struggling with the past and your consciousness. Because you're almost like, I want it to be behind me, but it's not. It's in my mind. That's where it goes. So you want it to be over. And what I'm seeing is how do I want to, I'm going to pull some more cards, and while I shuffle, I'm going to think about how I want to say that. There is that spiral again. Oh, okay. So you, listen, highly evolved conscious being, you're woke, okay? You are there. So you put the key into the spiral here, and you said, I unlocked this door to awareness. I took a shroom trip. I did something crazy, okay? I went down the rabbit hole. I did some fasting. I am here. And there's a lot going on. Life was a lot simpler when I didn't have to think about all this. What is struggling in your subconscious? What are you struggling with in your subconscious? 9 of Cups. It's kind of like so there's a bit of loneliness, struggling with some loneliness, but also how does this bring you joy? How do I manifest a path that brings me joy? And all this chaos and all this pressure, how do I make this a emotionally fulfilling existence when there's very practical things all around me that I'm holding on to desperately, because things like inflation are very real, right? I need to go get groceries, I need to pay my bills, and I can't just worry about my feelings. Well, that's changing. This is your future. The female emperor. So coming into your future position with this emperor card, it's like I see you really wanting to hold on here. So this represents like so much joy and emotional fulfillment. So that's what you're focused on. You're like, how do I find joy and emotional fulfillment in my new existence when I'm so comfortable in my old one? I had a good paying job. I had friends. I had support systems. I had family. I had all these things that made sense. There was logic. It was like when you were in the blue pill, there was so much abundance. You had a nice house. You had a nice car. You had some money in the bank account, all those kind of things. And you're really holding on to that way as you're consciously aware that you are actually being asked to adapt and to dig deeper. So dig deeper into the waters here. There's so much water. It's about sailing on this ship, going further, finding this personal power that you know you have. You know you have it. And a lot of the new earth is going to be about community, guys. So as we're going on this journey of finding our individual path or whatever, it's actually going to be to recognize how much we need each other. And community is going to be what thrives. So yes, you're going through enlightenment in your spiritual journey and doing shadow work alone. But once you come out of that, there is going to be community, because highly evolved spiritual beings are about togetherness, oneness, community. People are working together locally, your neighborhood. You know, you don't go super far out We don't need things from continents away to be shipped to us constantly. The focus in the new world is about what's local, what's around you. This is a bit painful for us. So I'm seeing this challenge of, but I love everything I get shipped to me on Amazon. I love it all. It all comes to me on my doorstep, and it's simple. I just have to push the button. Remember, you said push the button. That's not the kind of button though, guys. There's a lack of integrity that we're alchemizing right now. And as you let go and dive deep into yourself and understand this emotional depth, this fascinating adventure that you're on to boss up and to become an enlightened soul, having a human experience, there's a lot of pain. You're like, I don't know if I can keep going. I don't know if I can keep doing this. This is a challenge to keep up with. Yeah, your environment's kind of calling you back in. It's like, I miss the simpler times. I miss when things were chill and I could be in my ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss was, did I show you the Nine of Wands? Look at all her wounds. She's just struggling with all the pain of all the challenges and hurdles, but 9's almost a 10. It's saying you're almost there. You're almost there. You've downloaded a lot of information. You've pushed through. You've persevered. And while there's challenges and while it's difficult to accept all of this, you know it's required to harness your magic, to bring in the magic. These cards are giant. I have to kind of do one of those. If this was a reverse, man, though, look at the mechanics, what in the heart, and this was in reverse. Wheel of Fortune with the mechanics underneath. Look at that card. This is your challenge and your obstacle. It's like, how do I get it all to work? How do I work for my heart? How do I harness my time? I'm running out of time. I don't have enough time. There's not enough time. Yes, there is. We all have the same amount of time. We all have the same amount of time. Time is not the problem. It's how you spend your time. Consumed. So we have to drop this old illusion world because there's this hive mentality of, so strength is your outcome, which is beautiful. You have a decent amount of major arcana here. So it's a very powerful time for you to tap into yourself and really understand that you're not doing this alone. There's the universe, there's guides, there's so much support on the internet. It's insane. Internet technology. I got matcha tea here. I gotta mix it. So pulling through is your challenge. You're like, look at this card. It's like really pulling through, even though it's hard, tapping into your inner strength. I almost want to get some animals. I haven't done these though yet, so let me kind of pull some of these. Yeah, the lion is all about your inner strength, you know? Yeah. I'm going to actually pull some astrology, which I should have done in the beginning, but it really doesn't matter, guys. Energy is energy. Horned cactus, if I can speak, resourcefulness. So when I pull any sort of astrology out, it's always about the energy. It's never about your birth sign or whatever. It's always going to be the energy for me. So let's just see what's the major energy here so we can tie it to the reading. Cancer. The crab. So much ocean. I'm telling you, the ocean is here. The ocean is here. Mermaids, ocean, dragons. It's all about radical expansion, just coming closer, completion, walking through this door, understanding that, yeah, you're also got another major arcana here, which is the Lovers. So it's about choice. It's about making a decision. Those are birds. We were talking about the wings. You know what I'm saying? You know how we were talking about the birds and then we made planes? And here she is with her wings. It's like really discovering that you are about to take flight and understanding it's okay to take things one step at a time. There is no way for you to, it's not beneficial for you to overload your system. Things are going to, it's all going to flow. We're going to forget it was even difficult in 5 or 10 years. We're going to be like, oh my gosh, like we got through it, you know? And ride the wave. You're in the ocean, you're a dolphin, you're a mermaid, you're just swimming. You're on a boat, you're just kind of going with the motions. You're not forcing anything, you're not putting any pressure on yourself. You're just making little decisions and one at a time. So if today all you can do is take care of yourself physically, like your body is tired, you're exhausted, and all you can do today is just take care of yourself, that's fine. It's one little thing at a time and you'll get there. So that's what I have. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know if that resonated any way below, because I know that was a little crazy. I appreciate you and I'll see you next time.